Alrighty, it is now January 28th of 2020, and ever since the release of Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker, a lot of fans around the world have been very excited or very intrigued. They're curious about the future of the Star Wars franchise, and exactly how Disney and Lucasfilm is going to handle or evolve the Star Wars franchise at this point in time moving forward as well. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, one thing about Star Wars is that we do know that beyond Episode 9, it's going to be a very tough challenge for Disney and Lucasfilm to create lightning in a bottle again, as George Lucas did with the original trilogy, which is exactly why they have George Lucas helping with the new Star Wars films, especially with the new Star Wars trilogy of films, these new series of movies that will be released throughout this entire decade. Now, Episode 9 was basically the foundation to create new Star Wars lore. It was essentially a film developed by, of course, J.J. Abrams and Chris Terrio to give us new Star Wars material that would tease of what's to come in the new Star Wars movies moving on forward. Now, in case you guys are tuning in just right now and are very unfamiliar with the new Star Wars universe, this new universe is going to consist of books, novels, comics, video games, movies, and TV shows that will all interconnect with each other and will be modeled after how the MCU works. So essentially, all these projects will interconnect and will tease some of the new characters, elements of the past, and the future as well. Now, on top of all of this, what's rather exciting all has to do with the first film of the new trilogy. Now that both Disney and Lucasfilm are moving forward and moving on from the Skywalker saga and are focusing on the future of the Star Wars franchise, it's explained that they are currently getting ready to develop the first film of the new Star Wars trilogy known as Star Wars X/Star Wars Eternal that will bring the Star Wars fans into a new mythology of Star Wars. One of the big plans that Disney and Lucasfilm has is in order to bring the fans to a journey to ancient Jedi and Sith temples located over in the unknown regions. And that the first film of the new trilogy is explained to dive further into the ancient history of the Sith and will introduce new dark side warriors, where it's noted that Disney and Lucasfilm are trying to develop warriors in the unknown regions that would be stronger than the Sith and want to create an unknown set of warriors that practice the dark side of the Force that adopt the Sith legacy in a unique and different way. Star Wars X, also known for now as Star Wars 10, is said to also dive into the secrets of the prophecy of the Chosen One of Anakin Skywalker, and that this will be Lucasfilm's way of loosely connecting this film to the Skywalker saga, and that Kevin Feige is said to be a part of the project and the one responsible for trying to get Keanu Reeves on board for the Star Wars franchise. Star Wars Eternal is said to also be a film that will demystify the Force, and that Lucasfilm is looking for an actor who could portray one of the main new villains for the new Star Wars film, and that they are using some of the characters that David Benioff and D.B. Weiss created, however will not be using their treatments of the film, as new writers are coming on board this February. It said that the film will also introduce the story of how the Jedi and the Sith split apart, of the origins of the two sides of when they were actually united, many years before the events of The Phantom Menace. The film is set to introduce new designs of lightsabers, new Jedi and Sith lore, and that the ships and starfighters in the series will be completely different than the originals and sequels, and will be entirely new, just how George treated the prequel trilogy. One of the main worlds for the new film is actually said to be Coruscant and Exegol, and that the Rise of Skywalker was used to tease the planet for the new movie. So, the thing that excites me the most about this is, of course, these new dark side warriors that are actually explained to be somewhat stronger than the Sith. Now, I don't know about you guys, but to me, this could very well be a risk for the Star Wars community and how fans see Star Wars. Now, there's no denying that the Sith are going to be a main focus of the new trilogy. As far as the new Star Wars film goes, that is actually dubbed as Star Wars X/Star Wars Eternal, it's actually noted that it will focus on the legacy of the Sith as well as these new dark side warriors. The thing that really excites me, though, is that there will be a series of new ship designs, new starfighter designs, that are going to shift away from the familiar ones, like X-Wings and TIE Fighters. So essentially, what we are going to get from Disney and Lucasfilm is exactly what George Lucas gave the fans with the prequel trilogy, is where we got to see all these new ships, we got to see these new starfighter designs that we never saw before in a Star Wars movie. That's exactly what we will be getting in Star Wars Eternal. And I cannot wait to see exactly, what they have in store for these new lightsaber designs that they are currently developing for the new Star Wars trilogy, this new mythology of Star Wars. So, Like I said before in the past, these new Star Wars movies, it's an attempt by Disney and Lucasfilm in order to really treat the fans in a satisfying way, to really make the fans happy with Star Wars. And that a lot of Legends content will be used in this new Star Wars movie. Moving on forward, the fact that they're using the legacy of the Sith and the Jedi, and even expanding the prophecy of the Chosen One and everything that has to do with Anakin Skywalker, and how that's going to be a loose connection to the Skywalker saga, is also something to look forward to. Obviously, Keanu Reeves is still in talks to come on board for the Star Wars franchise, and that Kevin Feige has a large role in doing this, so crossing fingers for that to actually, make its way to Star Wars. Anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.